me just add this, because the perception gap, not only does it make people more timid than they ought to be, but it also plays into the idea that you're asking for special rights. If you believe that something already exists and we're asking for something, it must be special above and beyond what everybody else has. But, I think things are shifting. I know they're shifting in Florida. The strategy we employed when we were founded, we knew that Tallahassee was going to be tough slogging. So we've invested deeply in the passage of local ordinances. Now, more than 120-something ordinances at the local level. Was it a couple of days ago, Sarasota County passed a domestic partnership registry. That's 100% Republican territory. There's no part of the state that we're not organizing in now. And what we have to remember is every time we have the conversation, we win. I mean, even in the wake of Amendment 2's passage, the polling that came afterwards showed this incredible bump in support for marriage because, people sort of had buyer's remorse or it caused people to talk to family in a different way. Do you know what you just did? And what we're seeing in Florida is this. The same day, well, first of all, Rubio did not vote, but Nelson did. And Senator Nelson didn't get there on his own. There was no place Senator Nelson was permitted to go in Florida where we did not bird dog him and make him deal with this question. We flew people to his office in D.C., and 2 days before he finally agreed to co-sponsor, we had one of our board members, a really incredible trans activist named Gina Duncan, speak to him. And everyone who was in that meeting said they saw the moment where he went from maybe not quite there to a definite yes. So we've got to employ, we've got to hold Rubio to that same standard as well. We've got to make it impossible for him to move about the state without having this issue pushed. The same day that the Senate voted on ENDA, Representative Joe Saunders, I never get tired of saying that, one of 2 openly gay legislators in Tallahassee, held a press conference with his Republican co-sponsor, flanked by Republicans and Democrats. And when they finished the co-sponsor count and the verbal yeses that they had gotten, there are enough votes in the Florida legislature right now to pass the Florida Competitive Workforce Act that would add sexual orientation and gender identity to Florida's civil rights statutes. That's where we are right now. So, we have our own Boehner question. Will leadership permit it to happen? But there are 2 things that are really in our favor here. One of them is that the Republicans are looking at the same polling numbers that we are. And not only do the majority support it, but the latest numbers show that people will punish elected leaders, even primary voters, who don't stand up on the issue. So we're seeing especially a younger crop of Republicans and newer Republicans, kind of standing up on this issue, and they see the writing on the wall as well. And the other piece is that the business community is helping us deal with that perception gap, because what they're saying is we want to draw top talent. We want to recruit and retain the best and the brightest. So we have a 100% rating. We're doing everything that we can, but we have to invite people to move into communities that when they leave our campus, they've got to drive down county streets where if they get in a car accident, they won't be treated as family, where discrimination is still legal. So one of the secret, sort of the secret weapons that we've had in passing these at the local level, and now the leverage we've gotten at the statewide level, is to make the business case to corporations why they must speak up now. And it's having a tremendous impact.